Every generation parents with the tools, with beliefs and pressures of its time. What was missed then is different from what's being missed now, but both matter significantly. Let me say this with every confidence in me that many of our parents loved us deeply and dearly, but they didn't have access to what we know now. The informations we know about the brain development, the nervous system, and early development. Welcome to the first 1,000 days of life with Lola. Today we are talking about something tender. What many of our parents missed in our first 1,000 days. And we are not here to blame, to judge, or to shame any, but to understand and to heal, because understanding changes everything. So the number one thing many parents did not know is regulation comes before behavior. In the first 1,000 days, babies are not misbehaving when they cry. They are communicating. And they don't communicate with logic, but through the nervous system. When a baby cries, or when they cling or become restless, they are not being difficult. They are overwhelmed, uncomfortable, tired, seeking connection they don't yet know how to ask for. Crying is not rebellion. Clinginess is not manipulation. Or restlessness is not stubbornness. It is a signal. But in many homes, those signals were misunderstood. They were labeled manipulative. The child is stubborn, too much, being spoiled. Yet babies do not manipulate, because manipulation requires strategy, and infants don't have strategy. Many of us very early absorb different messages instead of connection. You will hear things like, "What's wrong with you? Stop crying, be strong, grow up. What's your problem? Why are you feeling this?" But feelings were never the problem. Feelings were information. Tantrums were information. And so, when information is ignored or minimized or shamed, the body adapts and the body learns. Don't express yourself. Don't express. Be by yourself. Don't express your feelings. Don't ask for too much. But when parents respond with calm, with curiosity and connection, we teach something deeper than obedience. We teach regulation. We teach safety. And you are teaching a child that their feelings make sense, that you don't have to handle things by yourself alone. You are teaching confidence. You are teaching trust. The second thing a parent missed is emotional safety was secondary to obedience. Still much in existence, traditional parenting norms often focused heavily on obedience. Children were expected to be well behaved, to be quiet, to be respectful. Boys were meant to be tough. Children are to be seen, not heard. Why structure and respect matter, emotional safety are rarely priority. But today, we know that connection creates emotional safety, that long-time connection builds relationships, not power. Today, we understand that when a caregiver responds consistently and calmly, that literally shapes the architecture of a child's developing brain. But many of our parents were never taught that emotional attunement builds resilience. So many children grew up behaving well, achieving well, being good, being a nice person, but yet inside they feel unseen. They are obedient, yet they feel alone. The third point is trauma informed caregiving did not exist during their time. The language you use today, like nervous system, attachment patterns, trauma informed care, simply wasn't common knowledge. Birth stress wasn't discussed. Postpartum depression was often dismissed or hidden. Chronic stress was normalized. No one talked about how early stress can shape the body for anxiety, for emotional shutdown later in life. And many of our parents were raising children while dealing with poverty, with racism, with generational trauma, even their own unhealed childhood trauma. So, meaning that they themselves were dysregulated, trying to raise regulated children. That is not failure, that is survival. And that connects to the fourth one. Connection was replaced by survival. Many parents were simply in survival mode. They were working long hours, parenting alone, parenting without emotional support, without financial support, without rest. Even though they loved deeply and dearly, but they didn't always have the capacity to regulate. They have no space for regulation themselves. And here is something very important for us to know, that connection requires a nervous system capacity, but survival drains it. So, what does this mean for us? It means we can hold two truths at once. That our parents loved us and something was missing. Not because they didn't care, but because they did not know, because they did not have support, or they were trying to survive. And now we know more, which means we can choose differently, not perfectly, but consciously. And now that you know, the question is, what can we choose to give the next generation that maybe we didn't receive? Because healing doesn't start with blame, it starts with awareness. If this resonates with you, please leave a comment. Bye for now.